Hello and welcome to Let Me Bore You to Sleep. My name's Jason Newland and this is Trivia Tuesday. Trivia Tuesday. Trivia Tuesday. Hello. It is Tuesday the 23rd of September 2025. And it's 3:56 p.m. And please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. So, still having a bit of problems with Apple Podcasts. I don't know. I think it's taken a while for it to all get sorted. I think it's generally working, but I've done everything I can do. I tested them all again today. Those that didn't work, I got rid of. Those that are working, fine. Now, I know that some of the issues isn't just updating. That seems to be sorted. But being able to follow, I don't know how to sort that out, if I'm honest with you. So if I put in my name, Apple Podcasts. So, in fact, if I put in Let Me Bore You to Sleep. Let me bore you to sleep. To sleep. So I'll open this up. The page you're looking for can't be found, which is a little bit annoying. More than a little bit annoying. Which means it must be the old one. However, if I put in my name into Apple Podcasts and search, I can find Let Me Bore You to Sleep. And the one that's on there is not the one. I guess it's the newer version. So all I can do is apologise and just say, and you should be able to follow this one. The old one's gone. And that's partly my mistake, partly my error. Partly. I don't want to take full responsibility, but somewhere along the line I've messed up, but also I think Apple messed up a bit as well. So it seems to be it's a case of refinding me, if that makes any kind of sense. So the podcasts I've got on Apple Podcasts, so all the others should be fine. It's just Apple Podcasts that have been a bit weird. I've got relaxation for stress and panic attacks. That's opening up, so that's fine. Hypnosis for sleeping deeply. That's fine. Sleepy boring objects. That's fine. Although I do need to update that one. Let Me Bore You to Sleep, which is fine. Bedtime story time, that's fine. And deep sleep whisper hypnosis, which isn't working at all. Oh, okay. Oh, it is working. So I think that just needed rebooting. So let's go back to see. Yeah, so basically that's what it is. It's sleepy boring objects. It's working fine. Yeah, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've now got 6 podcasts that are up and running on Apple Podcasts. They should be available everywhere else. I've still got SoundCloud. I've still got 2 podcasts on SoundCloud. Let Me Bore You to Sleep and the other one, which is it is Hypnosis of Sleeping Deeply. Now the SoundCloud ones are completely separate, so they're not dependent upon being manually or automatically updated from the Spreaker podcasts. These are podcasts on their own, which I have to upload separately. I would get rid of them, but not unfortunately, but some people prefer SoundCloud. So I've got an audience on SoundCloud separate from all the other places that I upload. So I did get rid of them both a while back, and I ended up having to reinstate them. I mean, to give you an idea, where is it? Oh, to give you an idea, with the Hypnosis of Sleeping Deeply, it's kind of those two podcasts are like a whole different world compared to the ones on Spreaker. I mean, I probably had more downloads on the two podcasts on SoundCloud today than already I have done on the others, but just the way it goes. So if you look, the last 30 days I've had 4,601 plays on that one podcast, but for the last 12 months 383,785 plays all time, which is all of last year, part of the year before, and this year is 2,513,271. Just gives you an idea, there are people listening different places. Some people even listen to me on YouTube. So I've got a YouTube channel. All 6 versions of the recordings are uploaded on YouTube as podcasts. So it's kind of, I shouldn't be this honest, but I don't get a huge amount of views on the YouTube, because YouTube, I mean, it is a podcast. It is a podcast, but it's still, YouTube prefers videos. It's still a video. It's like a static picture and then my voice. But it's all right. I'll continue to share it, because basically whenever I do a new recording, it automatically uploads to YouTube. And I have a huge amount of videos. Wow, like absolutely huge amounts. I couldn't even tell you how many I've got on YouTube. Probably over 2,000, which is quite a lot. Let's have a look. I'm interested. I'm slightly interested. Where would it tell me? Wouldn't it have that on the channel page? My channel. Come on. So Vinny's chewing on something. I've got 3.1 thousand videos on my YouTube channel. So that's a mixture of videos that I've made from the past, videos I've made, well, everything's from the past, isn't it? But there's videos of Andre, there's videos of Vinny, there's videos from like 2011, 2010, 2007. I'm not sure if I posted the videos from 2006, but there's a lot of videos. And now every day there's 6 more added. I kind of hope, I mean, for me personally, I think YouTube's quite a good place to listen, because I got it on my telly, I just turn it on, And I like to listen to my podcast just to see if they work, if they sound okay, and they do. And I always bore myself to sleep, which is weird. You'd think that being my own voice, it'd be a bit off-putting, but it doesn't for some reason. Yeah, I listen. I don't listen to every single recording, but I probably listen to at least 4 or 5 a week, three a week, something like that. When I do, like, one every day. So there we are. So what I would say is just search for my name on Apple Podcasts. It might be a different podcast to the one that you were listening to before, if you know what I mean. It might just be like an updated version, because Apple Podcasts had so many different versions of podcasts from the past on there that I think it just got confused, which is fair enough. And I didn't realise, I guess I didn't know how it all worked. But on here, on all of these podcasts that's coming up, it is given a plus follow button. So I can't check it on my phone right now, but it's working on the laptop. Right, so that's all that done. If there's any Facebook messages I can talk about, is there? I was in the park earlier, and Vinny, as he does, gets excited to say hello to people. So he jumped up at this man. There's a man and a woman walking. It looked like they were going on the grass to avoid him, which I thought was a bit weird, but they weren't. And he jumped up at the lady. Then he got on his back and was showing his belly to the lady. Then he jumped up at the man, and the man said, "Oh, next time I see him, can you have his nails cut?" Which I thought was a little bit cheeky of him to say that. Like, next time, have his nails cut. Maybe next time he jumps up at you, and perhaps you could not be wearing shorts like a little schoolboy. I mean, this is someone probably in his late 70s walking around with shorts on in autumn. It's not like freezing cold out there, but it's not warm. It was quite chilly. I wouldn't wear shorts in this weather. I don't wear shorts in any weather, but that's just a legal requirement. I can't help that one. Ooh, Sarah Hitch. Let me have a quick look, see if there's any messages. Okay, again, I don't know anymore. It's confusing, the whole thing. I hope Apple Podcasts is now sorted, and I've done all I can do. I know I said that yesterday probably, but this time I really think I have, because I've gone through it again and again and again and again and again, and some people are saying it's working fine now, which is good. Right, I can't log in, so I can log in, but I just can't be bothered. So that's it, really. I'm thinking, do I really need the letmeboytosleep.com website? Maybe just, because I've got the jasonnewland.com website still running as well. So I might just get rid of the Let Me Boy to Sleep and just have the jasonnewland.com like before. Just simplify things, And if you go to the jasonnewland.com, like before, it's all the latest recordings on there. So you start on the first page and you can skip down. I mean, there's 1,988 episodes to choose from just from this on the first page that you can actually go through. 10,309 hours and 50 minutes. So it should be enough to get you through for a while, you know. There's a lot of stuff on there, going back to who knows how far back. And that includes not just the Let Me Bore You to Sleep ones, but all of the recordings, including the hypnosis stuff that I've done in recent months. And also, there are links to each of the podcasts on Spreaker that I have as well on that first page. So it's got all the hypnosis for sleeping deeply, Let Me Bore You to Sleep, Deep Sleep Whisper Hypnosis, Relax and Sleep Hypnosis Daily, Short Relaxation Hypnosis, Monday Sleepy Boring Objects, Let Me Bore Your Pain Away, Chronic Pain Hypnosis, Stress and Pain Relief, Relaxation for Stress and Panic Attacks, Jason's Bedtime Story Time, Q&A Friday, Requested Recordings, Let Me Bore Your Phobia Away, Stop Nail Biting, Stop Smoking Hypnosis. Wow, that's a lot, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So there's also a Spanish one. 17 podcasts. Now, only the main ones are on the Apple Podcast now. So what I'll do, once it's all sorted, once it's all kind of calmed down, I might try and start adding some of the other podcasts onto Apple Podcasts. But I'm going to leave it maybe a month or so. Let everything kind of settle. So just I want to make sure that everything updates correctly. And yeah, but then, as I said, the links are there, so you can go to my podcasts directly, or you can just use it's like a playlist on the first page. And my website on jasonnewland.com now is just one page. Everything on one page. It's very easy to use. So that's another, alternative. So you can go directly to Spreaker, all my podcasts. You can go to Apple Podcasts. You can go, to all the different podcast hosts, places with your directories and that. You can go to YouTube, or you can go to my website, jasonnewland.com. There's lots of different options where you can find my latest recordings. Oh, and also SoundCloud, of course. Wow, forgot about SoundCloud. So you can go to SoundCloud and let's have a look. If you click on SoundCloud and search for me, Jason Newland. Right. You'd think I'd know how to spell my surname by now, wouldn't you? Newland. Jason Newland. So, I got one. Visit Jason Newland's profile. Barry. Someone else has got it. So, okay, that's not me. So, Jason Newland. And if you go down to... Ooh, that's weird. Albums? Oh. Found 287 playlists, 500 plus tracks, 15 people. I thought I'd be a little bit easier to find. Well, underneath the Jason Newland that isn't me, and that's from Barry, United Kingdom, there is lots of my recordings. So what you could do, like Hypnosis for Sleeping Deeply, you could just click on that, the top one. So you got music number 25, Letting Go. That was a year ago. You can just click on Sleeping Deeply, and that brings it up. See, that's weird. Or you could just put in, if you want, Let me bore you to sleep. And yep, I come up. On Spreaker, I've used the old banner of a little baby with a yellow hat. Use a yellow beanie. I just want to kind of have it separate from the others. So you got that. You can click on that. You can also follow. And the latest recordings are on there. So streaming, which was yesterday's one. See, it's still... So I understand we've all got our favourite places that we like to listen to stuff. I completely get that. And I do have a few options, so it's not all... I'm not just in one place. I'm kind of all over the place. Not just mentally. Another thing someone asked me, and I can't... I've had a lot of people posting stuff, and I've kind of lost track a little bit, but it was about being able to listen on Apple Podcasts and set the timer for just 1 hour. Now, my initial my initial response was, if you listen to the one with music or without music, just the one standard recording, they're usually about an hour, aren't they? I suppose, but then sometimes I do waffle on for nearly 2 hours, sometimes even longer. So I can see if you want it to turn off after an hour. Actually, that wasn't my first response. My first response is maybe I should make a recording that stops after an hour. But then, would that just be another addition to already 6 different recordings? It's quite a lot, isn't it? For each recording, 6 different versions. So I did some research, and apparently Apple Podcasts on iPhone and iPad has a built-in sleep timer. So if you're watching or listening rather on iPhone or an iPad, here's how you can set it up so the podcast stops after 1 hour. So you open the podcast app and start playing the episode. Swipe up on the now playing screen where you see the play pause button. Look for the option sleep timer, a little clock icon. So sleep timer, a little clock icon. Tap it and choose a duration. So the options, it says here 5 minutes, 10, 30 minutes, 1 hour, end of episode, etc. Once set, the episode will stop automatically when the timer runs out. If you don't see the sleep timer, make sure your app is updated. Okay. I wonder, I'm not sure how it works on a what's it phone. I should ask that, shouldn't I? Spotify also has a sleep timer built in. On an iPhone, iPad and Android, it's apparently the same thing. Open Spotify and start playing a podcast. Tap the now playing screen, the big play bar at the bottom. Tap 3 dots in the upper right corner. Scroll down and tap sleep timer, and then choose from 5 minutes onwards to how long you want it to last for. On desktop PCs and a Mac, the sleep timer isn't available, but you can do it via your actual computer as well, separate, but it's not available on the app. So I want to check Apple Podcasts on Android, because millions of people have Android phones, So I'll just see, and tablets. Let's see what it says. That's a tricky bit. Apple Podcasts is only available on iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple Watch. So that's not even valid. I didn't even think about that. I think they're missing out a little bit there. I know part of it's because they want people to buy the Apple phone and stuff like that, but I don't think I'd buy a phone just because of it having Apple Podcasts, because you can... Oh, no, I don't... Although I do use Apple Music, don't I? So I'd miss using Apple Music, but I would get over it. The only reason I don't have an Android phone, like I used to have, I've had, blimey, loads of different phones. I just find I'm used to using it. That's all it is, really. I'm used to the Apple phone, the iPhone. I had one for probably 15 years now. Not the same one, but yeah, I'm just used to it. And no, I don't upgrade. I don't upgrade every single time. Blimey, who can afford that? Wow. I mean, the new one. I think I've had 1, 2, 3 iPhones, maybe 4 over the last 15 years, maybe 3. So, you know, they have to last a good 5 years each. So I'm always out of date, really. Yeah, so that's what you need to do if you want to set up the... In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to post this on my Facebook page. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because it might be useful. It might not be useful, but it's worth trying, isn't it? Well, wait, are you going to do the Trivia Tuesday yet? I'm going to do it in a second. Just wait. So what I'm going to do, I'm posting. Right. Setting timer on Apple Podcast. Setting sleep timer. Setting sleep timer on Apple Podcast. Okay. I'm going to post that. It might be useful. If it is useful, let me know. I posted it on Jason Newland's Boring Group, so that's where all my stuff is. So I'm always, if I can help, I will. Karen says Apple's working fine for me now. So I hope it, yeah. It's just one of those things, you know. It's there's not a lot I can do. I've done everything I can do, I do believe. I hope it's all sorted. Oh, Jimmy Kimmel's back on TV after a brief hiatus of what, 3 days? I don't care. Why would I care? It's not a show that even comes on in this country. I don't think so. It might be, maybe it does, but not on like the mainstream channels, and perhaps they have it on Sky, I don't know. We've never really, in this country, we've never really been big on the late night chat shows. Like in America, you've got whoever lives in America listening to this, possibly in Canada, possibly in Australia as well, and other countries, I don't know. They have these, like the Letterman version of a Letterman show, and you know, they've been around for decades, that format, like every night of the week. We've never had that, I don't think, really. No, we never. I suppose we've had chat shows, like we used to have the Wogan show, that was on at like 7 o'clock in the evening, and at one point that was on every like Monday to Friday. But that was just Terry Wogan sitting on a sofa or in a chair and getting celebrities out and talking to them. It was a very different thing to him being behind a desk and having... I mean, there was also live entertainment, singers, I don't know, maybe comedians and stuff like that. But it wasn't late night, it wasn't irreverent, it wasn't adult or anything like that. And I think the first time we ever really had anything even similar would be The Last Resort, which was in about 1987, 88, with Jonathan Ross. And it was that kind of format, late night, I think Channel 4 possibly. But it was once a week, and there'd be, you know, like crazy antics and silliness and adult stuff. But no, actually, it's not true. There was a late night show called. There was a Tiswas, which was a kids show, and then they did their own show once a week late, and it got cancelled. But that was kind of adult. And this was in the 80s. I forget, Over the Top or so, some weird name. But as far as late night chat shows go, I mean, we got had other few. We had Clive Anderson, but again, once a week on a Friday. And he would be on a desk and he'd be interviewing people, and there'd be people singing or comedians and stuff. So kind of similar format, but just once a week, not every night. And they weren't big shows. I mean, they were, yeah, they didn't, I don't know, I've seen clips of, well, I've seen whole shows on YouTube of like the different people like Letterman and all the different versions, you know, that's been over the years. But we just don't have that here. And at the moment, there isn't anything like that on terrestrial television anyway. I don't really know what my point is. But we just don't have that kind of stuff. I mean, just trying to think what other shows... By the way, that's my desk squeaking. Vinny's staring at his bum. I'm not quite sure what he's expecting. Another magic trick? I don't know. He's fascinated with his rectum sometimes. He just stares at it for hours. Honestly, I don't know what he's expecting. What is he anticipating is going to happen? Right, no, Vinny. No. Don't be barking just because there's a doggy out that's back barking. You don't have to bark. You want to get on my lap? You want to get on my lap? You can if you want. You get on my lap? You want to cuddle? No? Okay. Oh, he's getting excited because he can hear. I don't think it's your friend, though. I don't think it's Archie. No, it's not Archie because, well, it might be Archie, but I don't think we'd hear him from here. He lives too far away. Yeah, I don't know why I was talking about late night shows, but we don't really have much. I think I quite like it. There used to be a TV show called Don't Forget Your Toothbrush. which used to be on Saturday night, but that was more like a game show. And then there was Chris Evans, not the actor, Chris Evans. That was a bit of a squeak. What was that about? Chris Evans, who was on The Big Breakfast, which was like a morning TV show, which was good. I really liked that show back in the 90s. And it used to start at like 6 till 8 or something. And yeah, it's quite weird because I went there once because the house, it was like, looked like a cottage, and it was in the Docklands, really close to where I lived. I didn't know where. And then one day I was in Stratford Shopping Centre, just, I don't know what I was doing, probably just looking around, maybe on my way to the train station to have a wander. I really don't remember. And I think this was either 1994 or 1995. And this person came up to me holding a clipboard, and they said, "Would you like to be on television?" And I don't remember what I answered. I mean, I would have probably, I guess, been in the positive, because I ended up on a coach being taken to this TV studio, which from the outside looked quite small, but from the inside was huge. And so there was, yeah, it wasn't full, but they were basically trying to just drag people off the street to be the audience. And the show was, what was his name? Supermarket Sweet Bloke. Supermarket Dal Winton. I got it before I put it in. Dal Winton and a sportsman. They were doing a TV show together, and I don't know if it ever really kind of aired. It might be like a trial, a trial show just to see if it was going to be successful. Very weird. I'd never been to a filming of a TV show before, and it was very fake. The way they put it together, like getting people to clap for no reason, and then they add that on to the, I suppose during the editing, and they even go, so I was like, everyone now laugh, like, now you all whoop, jump up and down, shake your bits, go on, jump up and down. Like, what bits do you want me to shake? That's weird. And they'd come out and they'd do the introductions like 6 times, come and say the same thing. It was just weird. The whole thing was, because it was broken up, completely different to what you'd see on television. Not even in the same order. It's like, some movies, they film the ending of the movie before the beginning of the movie. So even the actors don't know what the heck's going on. It's weird. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can hear downstairs the music. A lot of bass. Been going for hours. But I hope it's not going to be a regular thing. But hey, they're such good neighbours, I just can't be bothered to worry about it. So I had someone knocking on my door earlier, but I was in bed and they were knocking, using the knocker. Now, maybe it's an attitude, but leave my knocker alone. I don't let just anyone touch my knocker. And I do believe knockers are sacred. We should just, I've got a doorbell. Press the doorbell. Why do you have to touch my knocker? Because when you use that, it shakes the whole flat. It's very loud. I don't like knockers. I'm not door knockers anyway. I don't I just don't. It's just like, it's too much. It's too demanding, almost on the level of violence. Almost just like, no. Because, you know, you watch TV or you're in bed or having a like, bang, bang, bang. Like, what the heck? What's going on? Is it an earthquake? What's going on? And I don't know who. I was in bed and I looked through my camera and just some bloke. What he wanted, but I'm in bed. I was like, no, go away. Now I'm thinking, because they're trying to do an appraisal of the flats, and the counts are a little bit, I don't know, a little silly sometimes. So they're like, oh, we need to come into the flat and do something. But then they just turn up randomly. And if you don't answer the door a couple of times, then they send a threatening letter. Oh, we're going to break in. We have to get, like, wait a minute. If you make an appointment and I'm able to be, you know, I'll be here. Or I'll contact you and let you know that I can't be here. But it seems a bit ridiculous. They expect me to be in all day. Even though I am potentially in most of the day, but it's, regardless of that, other people, what about them? Not everyone in the world, I mean, people have got different lives, haven't they? Some people have social lives, some people have working lives, some people have commitments to contend with. So yeah, it's weird. So I don't know who he was, but he knocked on all the doors. So I'm going to ask one of my neighbours who did answer the door who he was, because I tried to listen but I couldn't hear what they were saying. So I'm going to, I'll try and get his version, because I think that they were talking about doing audits of the flats, and I've got a hole in the wall. I need to fill that in. Did I tell you about that? Oh man, it's basically what happened is my neighbour downstairs helped me to put my TV on the wall. This was a few weeks ago. And he drilled through the wall, like right away through to the bedroom. But it was he's got a long one. And he just pushed too hard and it went all the way in. Because there's a gap in the middle of the wall as well. So he didn't need to go. He just slipped. That's all it was. He slipped, and I'm not going to say it went in the wrong hole, but it made a wrong hole, as it were. So yeah, I need to fill that in, find someone to fill his hole in with. I suppose some kind of paste or something. You all right, mate? Do you want to get on my lap? He does. Hello. You all right? Hey. Come on then. He wants to get on my lap. He's like getting onto the side of the sofa. He's putting his paws on my lap. So I want to lean a little bit forward so that he can actually get onto my lap. He jumps off. Do you want to get on my lap? You can if you want. You turn it into a game, aren't you? I can't be bothered, Vinny. I can't be bothered. If you want to get on my lap for a cuddle, you can. I've told him right from the day he moved in, he can have cuddles anytime he wants. Anytime. I'm always available for a cuddle. But he makes it difficult. Like, I think he wants to cuddle. He wants to get on my lap and cuddle up. But at the same time, he's like he doesn't not sure how to express that. I don't know. Because if he wants to, I'm happily give him a cuddle, and I'll do this while I'm cuddling him. But I know, because I'm now stroking him, like he's right next to my feet and sitting up, and I'm just patting him on the head. Good boy. Just stroking his neck and his chin. But I know that if I bent down to pick him up, he'd run away or growl at me. You see? If I put him onto my lap, he'll try and get down. Yet he wants to be on my lap. It's such a weird one. Isn't it, Vinny? It's a strange situation. It really is. So what else has happened? It's really weird. Here's a question. Do you know Microsoft, MSN? Have you noticed how MSN News, right, is so out of date? So out of date. Like, if a big news story hits, kind of, let's say today, I'll see it come up on my feed probably Friday. It's Tuesday today. It's so slow. I don't know why. And how about this for story? The Mirror. Anthony Joshua has 10-man shortlist for comeback fight. I've got a 10-man shortlist for comeback fight. I mean, come on, 10, that narrows it down. It's ridiculous. 10 people. Make it a bit more interesting, like it's going to be, between 3, but not 10. That's just them saying. They might as well change the headline to, we've got no idea who Anthony Joshua is going to fight next. Who's going to click on that, though? But that's basically what they're saying. Or Anthony Joshua has no idea who he's going to fight next. Or Anthony Joshua may be having another fight at some point, but we ain't got a clue who it'll be. Again, probably a bit too long as a title. Wouldn't get clicked. It might get clicked because Anthony Joshua and a lot of people want to read about him, but Terence Crawford stripped of title just days after boxing star beat Alvarez in Vegas. What? How the heck? Oh, he's been stripped to his WBA Super Welterweight Championship. 37-year-old points victory. Okay. So he moved up. He was the WBA champion in all the belts. So he was not WBA. He was the super welterweight champion in all the belts, rather. And then he went up to fight for the super middleweight championship and won all the belts in that. Now, it seems a little bit harsh for them to take away one of his belts when he's literally 2 weeks later. Give him a little bit of time. Generally, when they strip a boxer, it's because he's refusing to pay their sanction fees. So they probably said to him, I'm making this up, of course, but they probably said to him, most definitely probably didn't say to him, now listen, Mr. Crawford, this is a WBA. Regarding your Super Welterweight Championship, you're going to have to defend it soon. And you can either defend it within 30 days or agree to defend it within 30 days. So you'll have maybe 3 months to maybe agree within 30 days to defend it and then have the fight in 3 months or whatever. Or you'll get stripped. Or if you're really kind and nice to us and give us £1 million, we might just keep you as a champion for a little bit longer. And he might have thought, I'll do an impression of Terence Crawford here. I don't think I want to pay that kind of money. No, I don't. I'm a two-weight world champion. Ooh. Okay, that wasn't a very good accent. So, but according to this, he was going to Crawford was going to go back down in weight. He wasn't going to stay at the higher weight. Which makes me wonder if he's going to... Let's have a look. What could Terence Crawford do? I've got an idea. Let's have a look. I'll get some Terence Crawford. The music's getting louder downstairs, bastards. Right, let's have a look. Terence Crawford. So he's been a world champion, 3 different weights, I do believe, but unified in 2 or 3. No, I'm losing track. He's been the lightweight title, lightweight. Okay, so retained 2016. Light welterweight. Okay, so he's built. Wow, lightweight. So he won the world title as lightweight. Wow, lightweight title. He's won world title at light welterweight. He's won world titles at welterweight, and he's won world titles at super middleweight. Right, so that whole super welterweight was just silly because that's not true. So super, okay, right, yeah, so they messed that up. So 4 different weights. I'm doing quite well because in the past, having all this music in the background would have bugged me. Bugged me. Look, he's held 18 different major world championships in 5 weight classes, from lightweight to super middleweight, including undisputed championships at light welterweight, and super middleweight. He's the second ever male freeweight undisputed champion. In the 4-belt era, he is the first male boxer in history to capture the undisputed championship in 2 and 3 divisions, and the first to achieve that status at both light welterweight and welterweight. He's held the undisputed super middleweight title since September 2025. So I'm thinking what he could do. Is it got his how many viewers? Peak viewers 41,400,000 on his fight on Netflix a couple of weeks ago. Wow. The live gate was 47 million. That's just those that attended the actual fight in person, which seems like a lot of money because it wasn't a huge audience. I mean, like in person, I mean. But there was no buys because it wasn't pay as you go, or pay per view rather. Here's a weird one, right? So Spence Crawford, 700,000 people paid for that, and the second most popular was Amir Khan. Wow. So I'm just trying to go down. I just want to work out the rest of his career because he's 37. I'm sure he doesn't want to fight on forever, and he won't be able to. Major world titles: WBA lightweight champion, super lightweight, light welterweight. So what he could do, possibly, he could go down to middleweight, right? And yeah, he could go down to middleweight. So he's lost a few pounds, but it's only one weight class. Go down to middleweight and win. So who's the middleweight? Middleweight world champions. The middleweight world champions. Let's have a look. Just give me a list of everyone in the last 100 years. I don't want everyone. I want now. Present. Janibek Alim Kanulu. So he's got the WBO. And Janibek Albikanuli got the IBF. Sandy Lara has got the WBA. Carlos Adams has got the WBC. And Jermaine Taylor has got the... What? How can it be a title? That's 2005. That's weird. List of champions. So, what we got? We've got the WBC. Carlos Adams. WBA. It's not Adams. Admes. WBA. Erislandi Lara. IBF. Janibek. And WBO Janibek. So that's the 4 main channels. 4 main belts. So what he could do is fight Janibek. So come down, I don't know, 7 pounds? Or whatever it is. Come down in weight, fight Janibek, win his world title, and let Arislandi Lara and Carlos Admes, let them fight each other, and then there could be a third fight and then it could be the winner of both those fights becomes undisputed, and then he can be undisputed again and he can break all the history books. Yeah. So as Janibek Alim Kanuli, or Kanulai, he's had 17 fights, 17 wins, 12 by knockout, 5 by decision. And I don't know any of the names on his resume. Right, so for the first 9. Okay, when did he win the world title? Returned one. All right, he won the interim title, and then he was relegated, or he was not relegated. He was pushed up to be the world champion. Wonder what he did. I don't really know him. He began boxing at the age of 6 because of his father's and grandfather's love of the sport. His first fight was at 6 and he lost that match. So I'm going to see the person he retained the WBA and IBF champion. So the last person he fought against was unbeaten. I still think, so I don't know this bloke, but he was unbeaten and then he got beat. And Andrei Milikonovic, who was Janibek. Oh, he's been beaten twice now. Wow, so that wasn't good. So, but I've noticed that some really big names in boxing in the past, they go through periods when they just go through a losing period, a losing streak, where they might lose 3 or 4 in a row. So going from being a world champion to losing a few and then go back to being a world champion for another 5 years. It's kind of strange the way it goes sometimes. It's not just about the physical, is it? It's about the mental as well. How the person's getting on in life, how their life is going, how things are. So I did not know this. The first WBO middleweight champion was Doug DeWitt. And do you know who the second one was? Nigel Benn. Do you know who the third one was? Chris Eubank. Do you know who the fourth one was? Gerald McClellan. The fifth one, Chris Pyatt. A lot of British fighters there. Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank, Chris Pyatt, Jason Matthews. Wow, so you got Gerald McClellan, Chris Pyatt, Steve Collins, Otis Grant, Bert Schenk. The thing is, they go about, the first person to win all 4 belts in the 4-belt era. The 4-belt era has been around since the 90s, since the late 80s. The problem is, WBO was not recognised, really, as a proper belt for a long time. It was recognised by the champion. It was recognised by the country that had that champion. But in America, for example, Nigel Benn had the WBO, and he was a hero, as was Chris Eubank in England. But people like Roy Jones Jr., and they didn't seem to bother with the WBO. I'm saying that like I know, maybe they did. I may be lying to myself. Wow, Billy Joe Saunders was a WBO champion. Demetrius Andrade. What's happened to him? Because I really liked Demetrius Andrade. He's very, very skillful, but at the same time very frustrating for his opponents. And he was a 2-weight world champion, I do believe. He won the middleweight championship. So he won the WBA regular light middleweight title. He won the WBO middleweight title. He retained that, and then light middleweight. Okay, yeah. So he retained that. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So he had 6 fights, and then the 7th fight, he fought David Benavidez, and he lost, and that was for the WBC interim super middleweight title. I'm pretty sure the one before that was also at super middleweight. And he hasn't fought since. And that's nearly 2 years ago. Wow. That's really freaky. November the 25th, 2023. Yeah. November the 25th. 2023. On November the 24th was when Luke left. So that was weird. I must have been in a weird space to be watching the boxing that night. Wow. How strange. 23, 24, yeah, blimey. So David Benavidez is fighting in November. Is it the 10th? Is it the 10th? I don't know. He's among my most favouriteest boxers. David Benavidez. This hasn't been a Tuesday trivia, isn't it? It's not been that. I don't know why. I've got no idea, really. It just didn't happen. David Benavidez is so good. He's held world titles. He's been a super middleweight champion 3 times, and he's now the he is the light heavyweight champion of. He got upgraded, so he is. Oh. Okay. He has held the WBA light heavyweight title regular version since February 2025, and the WBC light heavyweight title since 2025 April. Previously held the WBC super middleweight title twice between 2017 and 20, but he also held the interim super middleweight championship, but he didn't get, I suppose he didn't get elevated to the full world title. So I class that as, I don't know. The problem is, when a boxer becomes unified, or undisputed rather, they hog the belts for far too long sometimes, and Canelo's one of those. And David Benavidez was really, should have been fighting for all the titles, and he was just stuck to every point. I don't think at one point Canelo said, I don't want to fight another, I'm doing the accent, I don't want to fight another Mexican. He said he didn't want to fight another Mexican. And then when we look at who he did fight, he fought quite a few Mexicans. He was just like full of it, really. It's not that he's scared, I'm sure he's not scared of anyone, but David Benavidez is so good. So he's fighting on the, when is it he's fighting? He's fighting in November, and he's fighting against Anthony Yard, November the 22nd, and it's a quadruple header. So this is going to be, it's probably going to be early hours of the morning, but it's going to be a big night, and it's going to also be, I think it might be in, that's the second time that's gone past. It's going to be in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. So I'll be watching that, so I'll be looking forward to that. So you've got someone like, wow, he's beat everyone that he's fought. 30 fights, 24 knockouts, 6 by decision. And you're thinking, God, and he's held all those world titles and all those fights, and you've got to think, wow, he must be getting on. He's 28 years old. I mean, he's done a lot, isn't he? So you say, how can he be the super middleweight champion and haven't lost it if he's never lost a fight? Well, the first time, I do believe, was because he went partying after a fight, got tested, and he had some substance in his system. It wasn't a performance-enhancing substance. It was a recreational, having fun, partying substance. And he got stripped of his title. And the second time, because he won the title back, the second time he lost his title, it was on the scales, because he came in as too heavy. So he still went ahead with the fight. I think he got fined, probably, a lot of money. And even though he won the fight, he lost the title. I might have got that the wrong way round, but that's kind of what happened anyway. Which is just, kind of weird. One vacant WBC interim, so one WBC was. It's not giving the information there. Before Pfizer. Okay, speaking of something great, I can't wait. Yeah, so he beat Andrade. So he did knock him down, but he got up. So I'm looking forward to that fight. But Yard is a proper warrior, so he don't mess around. It might be his time. If he does win, it won't be on points, so it'll be a knockout. Or why is the desk squeaking so much? I don't know. So I'm going to go to Caleb Plant, because I think he's retired now. I think he got beaten very concisely recently. So I don't think he's gonna. I don't know if he'll fight again. But he fought David Benavidez, but he also fought Canelo. So I'm going to go back to Canelo. Let's see, how many Mexicans has Canelo fought? That's what I want to know. You know what? I don't think it matters what anyone says about Canelo Alvarez. What a record. 68 fights, 63 wins, 39 knockouts, 24 by decision, 2 draws. He's lost 3 by decision. Held so many world titles, it's ridiculous. He's been in how many world title fights has he been in? Too many. I can't even count them. Well, I can, but I can't be bothered. But I want to go and have a look and see how many Mexicans he's fought. So Terence Crawford, not Mexican. William Skull, not Mexican. Edgar Berlanga. So I don't think he's Mexican. Jamie Munguia, or Mungui, I like to call him. Mexican. So probably about 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, I won't fight a Mexican. I won't fight a fellow Mexican. And then last May, he fought Jamie Mungui. And absolutely ridiculous. Because, you know, it's like, come on. Callum Smith, so to be fair, from the looks of it, he hasn't fought that many Mexicans. Julius Cesar Chavez, Mexican. Mikel Cotto, Puerto Rican. James Kirkland, don't know. Lara, Cuban. Alfredo Angulo, Mexican. I won't fight any Mexicans, he says. Austin Trout. Okay, American, I think. Josetto. Joseph in American. Okay, it's American. Shane Mosley. Okay, Kermit. Didn't really have a choice, did he? Because he was. You send a kid to school named Kermit, he's got no choice but to become a fighter. It's just. It's almost cruel, isn't it? On a kid to do that. Alfonso, Mexican. Ryan Rhodes, nope. But that was for a world title. Matthew Hatton, Love Moore, Carlos, Argentinian, Luciano, Joe's Cotto. I mean, it's really weird. We're going way, way down and he's still fighting for world championships. Right, so Leonardo Tyner, Carlos Herrera, okay. Michael Rosales, nothing coming up. Gonzalez, Dominican, is that the same as Mexico? Carlos Adan, Miguel Vanquez, Mexican. I won't fight any Mexicans, he says. Miguel Vanquez, Mexican. So I think he was telling porkies, to be fair. He fought Miguel Vanquez twice, did he? Oh. Ah, that's interesting. He fought Miguel Angel Vanquez Bastista, but he in 2008, lastly, but he actually went and won the IBF lightweight title 2010 to 2014. Isn't that interesting to me? I just want to go back and just have a little look. Wow, loads of losses. Blimey. 56 fights, 12 losses, 44 wins, 17 by knockout, decision 27, knocked out 3 times, 9 times he's lost by decision. So a lot of losses later on in his career. I mean, he's 38. And he's called El Titi, Titter, the puppet. Again, I don't know what this is all about. Kermit, the puppet. So he started his career. His very first fight was against Canelo Alvarez, and he lost. Split decision. His very first fight. Wow. That wasn't fair, was it? Can you imagine that, going through your whole career? It's like, oh, I lost my first fight. And then 5-6 years later, feeling a bit rubbish, you realise that you'd actually lost your first fight to one of the greatest boxers of our generation. One of the greatest champions, possibly of all time. So he won quite a few fights after that. He lost to Timothy Bradley, and this is for the youth lightweight welterweight title. And Timothy Bradley beat Pacquiao and went on to wield the world title, and he's a great fighter. Then he fought Canelo Alvarez again in his 24th fight, lost again, and they went on a winning streak. So basically, he went on a winning streak from losing to Canelo Alvarez on his very first fight. Then in his 20th fight, after winning all the other fights, he loses to another future world champion, Timothy Bradley. And then he wins all his fights until he fights against Canelo Alvarez again, who's still not a world champion at this point. But not at this point, he's not anyway. He might have been a world champion previous, at a different weight. And then he wins all his fights again until he wins the world title. So he wins the title in 2010, and he defends it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, well 9 times, but loses in the 9th defence. Wins again, loses, wins, loses, wins, loses, wins, loses. So he's kind of on a, I'm guessing he's retired now. Or 4th of February 2023 was the last one he fought, and he lost 2 in a row. So that's kind of the end of his career, I'm pretty sure. But 5 years as a world champion is something pretty amazing. And I'm thinking, you imagine if he hadn't fought Canelo Alvarez twice and Timothy Bradley, would he have gone on to win the world title? So he lost those 3 fights, but they were to 2 great fighters. So the experience he would have got from that and learnt from that put him in good stead to go on a big winning streak and to win the world title and to defend it 8 times. Including Breeder Spreadscott. Yeah. Because he's the first person that he knocked out, Amir Khan. That's why he was well known. That's what put him on the map, really, I would say. So, in 2008, Amir Khan, they fought. Breeder Prescott was supposed to just be, not a rollover, but it wasn't supposed to be a hard fight for Amir Khan, who was the future of boxing. Very much a hero in this country. So that was weird because, yeah, he fought Amir Khan. Everyone expected him to, well, I guess he didn't and his fans didn't, but, you know, Amir Khan's fans expected him to win. And he got knocked out in the first round. But Amir Khan came back and won other, you know, he won world titles, so it was just one of those things. But wow, it was a big shock, actually. I mean, I think even Breeder Prescott was a bit shocked, a bit surprised, like, what's happened? Well, you've just won. What? No, see? So maybe not. A lot of losses, though. But he's lost to a lot of big names, though. Terence Crawford, Robert Garcia. Is it Rob? No, it's Roberto Garcia, not Robert. Roberto. Okay, I can't. So, okay, some people anyway. Terence Crawford, Mike Alvarado, Kevin Mitchell, Humberto Toledo. In his next fight, he got bitten by his opponent. That's the thing. I bet they took this fight on for Amir Khan because pretty much everyone on his resume were kind of unknown. So they thought, well, okay, he's had 19 wins, but we don't know any of the people. So then he fights at Manchester Arena on September the 6th, 2008, and gets KO'd, baby. And then everything seems to go downhill from there. Oh. So again, didn't really do the Trivia Tuesday thing, did I, today? I suppose Trivia Tuesday I could be talking about boxing, I suppose, couldn't it? Boxing, but not really. I mean, yeah, really, but not really being trivia as such. Oh well. So I'm going to go. Thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you do deserve to be happy. Be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe. Lots of love. Bye.